And we're back doing another RSG review with your boy Ranger J 1999, and that hunk of burning love over there is the one and only Big K. Cashmere's joining me. Cashmere, how are you, my friend? And
Doing good, doing good.
yes, doing another review of the Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 12, the Outpost number 12. Is the name of this episode. Man, I gotta tell you, the last couple episodes of Bad Batch been pretty good, and this one was extraordinarily good. This was really, really, really good, man. I was,
Yes, it was.
it's because after episode 10, I think you and I, we talked about this in last week. We were like, okay, but then this last week one, and then this one's like, okay, what, you know, this is what we should have been doing this
hmm
whole season, man. Why are we doing all this? I guess it'll tie in somehow, some way, but outside of that, this is Crosshair's story, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Kashmir, break it down for us. Just give us the main points here of the main story points and stuff. And what did you
All
think and
right.
everything? And yeah, let's do this.
All right. Sounds good. We're gonna start off that Crosshair's waiting by his ship for his next mission. You kind of see a couple of clones walk by with somebody basically bitching that they're being forced retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, this
they're
episode did
upset.
a really good job of showing what's happening with the clones, not
Yeah,
just
yeah,
at the
it
main
definitely moved
post and
along.
in this one too, and like how just mistreated they are.
Yeah, yeah. So this Lieutenant Nolan, he doesn't like clones. He makes clear he doesn't like clones.
Yeah, they. Oh
Um,
boy,
they're
he's
going to
garbage.
this, yeah, they're going to this outpost where there ends up being only three clones left, and they're supposed to be guarding this precious cargo. But there's been some local raiders, insurgents, kind of stealing their stuff.
And using it against him, we find
So
out. Yeah.
yeah, we don't know what it is, but we know what it is. We
And
know.
the leader there, his name was Hex.
No, he was May. I was about to say Mayfield, but that's a different. It's Mayday.
Okay, so the commander. Who was the commander's name?
Mayday was the commander clone.
That's right. And then Hax was one of his.
Hex was one of the other
Right.
clones. It was Hex and Vex.
Something
Vetch.
like I don't
Yeah, some.
remember. Um, but yeah, it starts talking with Crosshair, and you know you kind of see that bond. And then of course the officer walks in. He's just garbage. This guy outranks him, and he's just talking down to him. I mean, and the guy kind of pushes back. Because you can tell he's dealt with crappy officers before.
Yeah.
Um, they really show the disdain, which really is, I think, a powerful message of like these are veterans, right? These are clone
Yeah.
veterans. These guys have been there, done that, seen countless battles. They're put in some shitty outposts. We learn why, and it's a really shitty reason why they're there. And this guy is just, treating them like crap. After his two guys die, then he's like, because they get raided again. And it's like kind of like a Hoth planet, you know,
Yeah.
um, very cold and stuff. There's an incident where raid happens, right, and then explosion happens, hits Crosshair in a way that he, rings his bell a little bit. He does injure one of them. He goes tracking them, figure out how they've been getting past all their sensors and stuff, and then follows a blood trail, and then he loses two of his boys, and you can see the helmets that he's got lined up, for each of the fallen clones that he's lost under his command. And then this piece of shit officer, tells him, "Hey, go find him. I'm not going to send you any more of the other clones to help with this because they got a guard because you're inept." He just talks down to them the entire time,
Yeah.
and so they go on this mission, and it was really cool to see, you know, um,
Mayday and Crosshair. They
their
just kind of start
relationship.
bonding.
They bond, and because they
Yeah.
have that connection as clones, but also because of their shared combat experience and soldiers, and Mayday kind of questions him about his loyalty to the Empire and stuff like that. He steps on a mine. Mayday saves him from the mine. They do find the
Base
raiders.
or yeah.
Yeah, finds their stuff there, and then they have a firefight. Leads to a little bit of an avalanche. Um, before the avalanche happens, they find out what's the special
special cargo,
special cargo,
ultra
and it,
secret.
yeah, ultra secret cargo, and it's armor for the new trooper program and supplies for the new trooper program, which was like, damn, you know.
Yeah.
Then the avalanche,
Mayday's like, I could have used this.
yeah, and we were left with our old stuff, and we could have been using this whole time, and it's a story. If you're a vet like me, you've heard this story a million times. It was really powerful in that message. I picked up on it right away. Um, Avalanche happens. Mayday gets injured. There was a reference that Mayday says to Crosshair, like, remind me never to die in
Yeah,
your
because
watch, because you're not going to take
because
my body back and stuff.
yeah,
And
because
yeah, go ahead.
Crosshair's like, that the carrying the dead guy would be just dead weight.
Which is what he
Even
ends
though,
up doing.
yeah, what he ends up doing, which made because Mayday saves him twice, because as that
Yeah.
avalanche is coming, he pushes him out of the way, so he doesn't get the brunt of the
Yep.
avalanche. He still gets some, and he gets himself out there, and he ends up digging Mayday out. And Mayday's like, "Hey, just go save yourself.
Save
Leave me
yourself,
here.
and he
Let me
doesn't.
die."
They crawl, limp all the way back. They get back there. The other clones come up, and then that shitty ass lieutenant comes up and like, help him. He just needs to be healed. We can save him. And he's like, I don't
Yeah,
save him. He's served his purpose. Just saying the just most
he's expendable.
trashiest. He's
Yep.
expendable, as are you. Right. And that's when Crosshair, as the guy is walking away, because Mayday dies. Like, you could have
Yeah.
saved him. And he's like, he's kind of talking trash to Crosshair, like, pray that I don't do the same to you. Then you see Crosshair in his weakened condition get up, and then you say, he just says lieutenant, and the guy turns around and just boom, gets blasted with his pistol, and then he collapses down. You see the clones kind of take him into custody. Then he wakes up and he's at the research facility that we saw in the
Yeah.
previous episode. I'm like, okay, they got Crosshair there now, and it's all starting to tie in together,
Yeah.
with everything. This is a really, really good episode. I mean, I love this episode. Just the whole theme of it. They've done some really good stuff with Crosshair this season. We've seen him in episode
Yeah.
3, and now this one, him starting. He's now being questioned. Now I don't know what's going to happen. He's at that research center, and I don't know what they're going to do to him. But yeah, this is a powerful episode. I mean, it really was a powerful episode. Any other points you want to bring up about it and your thoughts overall on this?
There was one, like, just one thing where he asks about, what was your unit, your battalion or whatever, and he's like, it was Clone Force 99. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
what happened to them? And he's like, oh, they're not around anymore. So he's never given them up, that they survived
No,
on Camino.
they died. Yeah, protected them.
So as far as everybody's
Good
concerned,
observation.
they're dead. I mean, although I think we're obviously setting up for somehow Omega getting found and caught, I'm sure, and then the rest of the Bad Batch come to save them, and Crosshair is going to be there as well, and they're going to probably end up saving Crosshair as well. I think it's just kind of
reuniting, and you're gonna have Rex and Echo and Cody, and you're gonna have all the clones coming in to save the day. I think is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get this whole, I think, season 3. I think that's how season 2 is going to end. I don't know if anybody will get killed off from the Bad Batch or from the group of guys. But it's setting up season 3 for something spectacular. Now we're into the meat and stuff of what the clones will do. I think that this whole thing with the Empire has pushed them to the brink of, okay, you want to push us to fight? We're going to fight. We were happy being mercenaries and just being left alone and just trying to find our way in the galaxy, but you have repeatedly not let us do that. And I think them going after Omega is going to set things off that I don't think the Empire is going to be happy about, because when you have a guerrilla tactic style, special forces, Navy SEAL, whatever you want to call them, group of clones that are especially genetically modified, probably one of the reasons why they got Crosshair at that lab, because he's a special clone.
Yeah.
You're playing with fire, man. That's something you don't want to get pissed. It's like you don't want to keep poking the bear. Now the bear's over there like, hey man, I'm just chilling. Just leave me over here. Just don't do it. And they're just like, come on. We're gonna keep doing this stuff. We're gonna keep poking you.
They're taking that stick and they're just keep on poking them.
Yeah, so we kind of see what's going to happen, but we just don't know how it's going to play out at this point. We know that everyone's going to be involved. We know that Rex and Echo are going to get involved. We know and Cody's going to get involved, maybe. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, these last two have done a really good job of setting, like, they're sick of Sid. We
Mm-hmm.
saw that last episode, which I was really happy to see.
Yes,
And now this
about
was,
time.
yeah. I mean, this didn't have the main characters, but didn't need it because the story of what has been going on with Crosshair, episode 3 and this episode are fantastic episodes with Crosshair. Such a unique character. They've done a really good
Mm-hmm.
job of, his that soldier part of him and part of his program with that stupid ass chip wants to be a soldier, just follow orders, but he's looking around and how he's being treated and how the other clones are being treated, and it's just he's sick of it. And you saw it, it's his breaking point. It's like, you
Yep.
didn't save this guy when you could have because he's just a tool. Okay, that's cold blooded. I mean, he killed that dude cold blooded. Just
Yep.
to made him look him right in that face because the guy's face is showed. It's like, oh, and it, boom, just point blank shot him dead. I loved it, man. This is
Mm-hmm.
getting a high mark on me. I really love this. This is my highest mark I think I've given, 4.25 Bad Batch out of 5. This is maybe even a 4.5 the more I let this marinate because I just recently watched the last couple hours ago. It
Yep.
was a really good episode, dude. What are you rating this, man?
I mean, I thought it was a great episode. Not as high as you.
That's
I'm
okay.
more of
We
the
differed
three,
yesterday.
three, 7.5.
That's fine.
You know, that type of range. But it was definitely a good episode. I mean, it started off, and I always understand you can't just be explosions throughout the entire time.
Sure.
But there's a little slowness to it leading up to it. But when it started, it was really great. It was everything was
Just
built
so
up.
many good emotional beats and moments, and the connection between Mayday and Crosshair, even though they never met each other before, you could feel that connection,
Yeah.
that shared experience that they had, and their understanding because both of them were just looking at this lieutenant like, "You're a piece of shit, man. We'll do it, but because we follow orders, but you're a piece of shit, man. I wouldn't save you if I had to. I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire." And he got what his comeuppance, man. You know, I've run into some officers and NCOs in my day when I was in the military that acted like that guy. That acted superior and all this stuff, and it just doesn't play, man. And you can be in charge, people will follow orders, but if you go past a certain point, you're going to get your ass handed to you because that shit don't fly. So yeah, I just because of the veteran in me, the shared experience, I really related to this episode on a personal level.
Mhm.
um and I really enjoyed it. This was a really good episode, a really good emotional. I think they've done a really good job of developing Crosshair. His arc has been phenomenal
Yeah.
from the end of season, just the way his whole thing played out, right, through season 1 and now season 2. They've done a really good job with that character. I really um there's stuff that he's done that I'm like, of course, but is it the chip? Is it a part of just who he is? I don't know, but so I give him some slack on that. But then there's a part of me like, yeah, but there's other parts of you, but you made your bed, you sleep in it. But seeing these 3 and 11 or this 12, seeing 3 and 12 and seeing his develop, it's really good stuff, man. I mean, if Bad Batch had done this the entire, I was saying this to someone today, if Bad Batch had cut off like some of the filler episodes and just done a 12-part arc and cut
Yeah.
out all that other stuff, and we just focused on this, introduce what's going on with Sid and establish some of that stuff there so that what they're feeling now for Sid makes sense, and then get into these stories of Cody and Rex and the Bad Batch and Crosshair and what the Empire is doing. And I think the clone stuff's important too, like what happens with the clones, what we see in 7 and 8. Yeah, this
Mhm.
is some good stuff, man. These last episodes have really, really. Mwah. Oh, I'm back in, man. I was a little pulled out after 10. I was a little disappointed, but I'm back in, man. I don't know how you feeling at this point. We got 4 more episodes to go. How are you feeling overall with Bad Batch?
Yeah, no, what like you said, 2 weeks ago, I was done. I was not looking for. I made Mando. It was all about Mandalorian, nothing else. I was kind of done with Bad Batch. Like, yes, I'm gonna watch it just because it's just I gotta watch it. Um, but Was not looking forward to it. It was almost going to feel more like an
Like
obligation than anything
we've
else.
gone this far, we might as well finish the
Yeah,
journey, right? But
exactly. Let's just see if they can save it.
they're
And
doing a
damn,
pretty
these
good
last
job,
two
man.
episodes, I am looking forward to
Yes.
next week. And I peeked ahead. I'm like, oh, is next week is because I know there's one more week that's a double. It has 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But I think before the finale, so I was like, "Ooh, hopefully it's next week." And I'm peeking ahead. I'm like, "Damn it, it's not."
That'll
I was
be
getting all
14 and 15. They'll do that, and then we'll have the season finale.
yeah. Then
Right?
we'll have the season finale. But I was getting excited. I'm like, "No, it's not yet." I'm like, now I'm finally excited, looking forward to these episodes rather than, um, kind of like, all right, great, woo, you know. I mean, in
And
the
what's
two
the
best
name of
episodes, I feel,
what's the name of the next?
were Crosshair.
What's the next episode? The next week?
It's all
What's it?
right. I am not. Do not make fun of me if I mispronounce
It's okay.
this. Pabu. It's Pabu.
Pabu. It sounds like Pal Boo, but I don't know
Maybe.
what that means. So
Yeah.
interesting, without more context, because I don't know what it's related to. But that's an interesting name.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see.
We'll see in the comments. Hey,
It
you
probably will
guys
go
remember
back
you're
to
an
the
idiot.
Bad Batch, and we'll start seeing some stuff, and then we'll get that 2-parter, and then we'll get the season
Yeah.
finale, and hopefully we get some good stuff here. I mean, see how everything ties in with Sid, and we got these next 4 episodes to really wrap everything up and see what direction the Bad Batch is going, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's see if they don't disappoint us. Last 2 got me back in,
Mm-hmm.
Lucas. So let's keep it going. So if you like these reviews, um, leave comments on what you thought of the, if you like the reviews, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, leave comments whether you liked it or don't like it. It's okay. Let's be constructive with your comments and criticisms, or your enjoyment of what you thought of this episode or just the season overall. It's all appreciated. If you like this kind of content, we do this every Wednesday. This will come out tomorrow. We're also reviewing the Mandalorian. So I'll get that out tonight. This will go out tomorrow for the review of Bad Batch. But yeah, check it out. Check out all of our content. We got a lot of content on the channel that's Star Wars related, whether it's Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the Old Republic. We're doing a lore series. We're doing all kinds of stuff on the channel. So if you like that, check out the other stuff. And if you like it, you can support us in other ways. It's linked in all the descriptions and everything like that. So with that, we're going to call this one done. So everyone enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next week for more Bad Batch. Peace out.